My name is Prashanth Silverstein-Alvarez, and you're listening to Is There Anybody Out There? I'm standing in a man's living room somewhere in Queens. I can't tell you what neighborhood, nor can I tell you the man's name. He also requested we modify his voice so as to further conceal his identity. We'll call him Sal. Now, what can I tell you about Sal? Well, I can tell you that he's a portly man with a gruff yet sensitive demeanor. I can tell you that he's in his mid-30s. And I can tell you that he has something fascinating to show me in the basement.
I'm not sure why it's necessary for you to call me portly.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's just for the intro.
Well, yeah, I know it's for the intro, but you just said it right in front of me, like I wasn't even here. It's just rude, is all.
I don't think it's rude. I mean, it's not like I called you fat.
Are you calling me fat?
Let's just start over, you know? I'll edit this out.
No. Keep it in. I don't want people getting the wrong idea, like you and I are pals or something. I'm doing this because this story needs to be told. Now, start over. Do your little intro again.
After getting to know each other some more, Sal finally agrees to take me downstairs. He opens the door just outside the kitchen and leads the way. When we reach the basement floor, the light is off. The first thing I notice is a strange sound. How many of them are down here?
206. You ready to see them?
Absolutely. Sal flicks the switch, and I'm greeted with an astonishing sight.
There they are. My beautiful boys.
206 miniature men, identical in appearance to one another. They are about 8 inches in height and wear purple long-sleeved shirts, covered by black overalls and matching purple newsboy hats. They sport thin mustaches, zigzagging upward with a sinister dash below their bulbous red noses, and emit a distinctive nasal bark of exuberance, forming the tapestry of mischievous sound that accompanies their raucous play. The gangly homunculi are running around in a sort of miniature amusement complex, complete with a car racing track, a soccer field, and tennis courts. I'm careful not to trip over the dozens of custom-made race cars strewn about the scene as I step closer to inspect the little men. As bizarre as all of this is, I also feel a weird familiarity. These men all bear a distinctive resemblance to the video game character Waluigi, who was first introduced in the 2000 game Mario Tennis and has subsequently appeared in dozens of Mario games and related Nintendo properties. In fact, to say they bear a resemblance to Waluigi is a massive understatement. They are Waluigi. Every single one of them. It's as if he has been ripped from the TV screen and brought to life, and then cloned 205 times. I don't even know what to say right now. This is amazing. Did you build that? All of that? The track, the cars, the everything?
Oh, yeah, I built all that. I got a little workshop back there.
Wow, that must have taken you a lot of time. I guess you probably don't have many friends or a girlfriend or anyone who loves you, huh?
Well, it's probably a nicer way to ask that question, but yeah, I guess not. I mean, my wife used to live here with me, but now she doesn't anymore, so yeah, I guess not.
Oh, so are you guys divorced, or?
I don't know what we are. We haven't spoken in 8 months.
Wow. The fact that your wife recently left you for another possibly skinnier man really adds such an interesting angle to this, doesn't it?
Well, maybe, but I don't know why you're telling me that to my face right now.
Sorry, just thinking out loud. So, when did you first start to collect Waluigis?
Waluigi.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said Waluigis, which is incorrect. The plural of Waluigi is Waluigi. One Waluigi, two Waluigi.
Okay, fine.
Good.
Great.
We're not doing this.
Kinda seems like we are.
Well, we're not.
Well, agree to disagree.
Well, I disagree
So you agree?
No.
So, how did you catch the first Waluigi?
I've been a licensed plumber for the city for about 10 years. About 3 years back.
Hold on, you're a plumber?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Can I ask what your ethnic background is?
That's a rude question.
It's not rude. You're white.
I'm not white. I'm a quarter Turkish.
And what about the other 3/4?
Italian.
So I guess it would be fair to say that you're an Italian plumber.
I'm not sure what you're suggesting.
Don't you think it's a little funny?
What's so funny about it?
Oh, it just makes me think of another Italian plumber.
Don't say it.
Don't say what?
Don't say the name you're about to say.
Mario.
Oh, fuck.
This is interesting. Merely speaking the name of the character to whom these Waluigi owe their entire existence seems to trigger in them an intense response of anguish, despair, and fear. Irritated with me, Sal now focuses his attention on the little creatures in his care, attempting to calm them down.
Hey, come on, it's okay, guys, come on.
He reaches out to them, at which point the Waluigi promptly begin biting his hand.
Oh, is that how we're gonna do it? That's how we're gonna do it, huh? Oh, okay.
So he stands up again and takes out a harmonica from his back pocket. He begins to play it, and all at once the Waluigi cease their wailing and begin to dance in syncopated rhythm to the music from the harp. When they are calm and engaged in play once more, Sal and I are able to sit down and resume talking. Sorry.
You gotta be more careful around them. They're very sensitive.
Is there anything else I shouldn't say?
Don't mention any other characters.
Not even Wario?
Especially not him. Sometimes it's the people closest to you that cause you the most harm.
So, how did you start finding the Waluigi?
4 years back, I was on a routine job. 6th floor unit of a building my company's got a long-standing contract with. The toilet's clogged. Something stuck in the pipes. Something big. When I fish it out, finally, I'm holding a shivering, terrified little man, about 8 inches tall, caked in feces, and reeking of urine, wailing like a newborn, dressed in purple and black. Waluigi.
So, what was going through your mind when that happened? I mean, if that was me, I would just be like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm holding Waluigi in my hands. And he's covered in piss and shit.
I was thinking, this poor creature needs my help.
What did you do?
I called my supervisor.
And what did he say?
Destroy it. Now, this conversation never happened. And then he hung up the phone.
But you took him home instead.
He was so scared. So alone. I just couldn't bring myself to leave him like that.
And what happened when you brought him back?
I threw out his disgusting clothes, and then I gave him a bath in the sink. Then, I put him in a shoebox, with some air holes in it, and I duct taped it shut so he couldn't escape. I knew he didn't trust me yet. What reason did he have to trust anyone? Then, I went to the pet store, and I bought him a glass case, an exercise wheel, some toys, little balls with bells in them, things like that. When I came home, I knitted him another outfit, and I put him in the case. He loved it. He was finally able to stretch his legs and get some exercise, He was able to see daylight for the first time ever. He was happy. 3 weeks later, I found another Waluigi in another apartment complex. 5 days after that, I found 2 more. And so on. And now, here we are.
What does Nintendo think about all this? Have you told them? Have you tried contacting them?
They weren't interested. You know, I started doing some research about it a couple months back. Waluigi isn't even an original creation of theirs. Nintendo contracted out Mario Tennis to a third-party developer, and they came up with Waluigi so that Mario could have a partner for doubles tennis. As a result, I think he's always been seen by Nintendo as an illegitimate character. When I wrote to Nintendo and told them that there were hundreds, possibly thousands, of real-life Waluigi roaming the New York City sewer system, well, you can read the response yourself.
Sal walks over to a nearby dresser and pries the top drawer out for inspection. He digs through a dense thrush of documents, tangled cords, and obsolete electronics before finally fishing out what he's looking for. A letter. He hands it to me and sits back down, and I begin reading. Dear Mr. Pasta Fajoul, we thank you for alerting us to this situation. Respectfully, we do not wish to hear any more. We would suggest that you destroy these creatures as soon as you can, in as brutal a manner as you wish, and never speak of it to anyone ever again. On screen and in life, Waluigi is a bumbling wretch to whom cruelty can be the only appropriate response. The idea that an abomination of this order was forged in our name provokes within us an irredeemable shame, a shame which turns to blood-boiling hatred when we hear that there exist flesh and blood iterations of this fiend roaming the physical world. We can only find solace in the fact that these Waluigi live in the sewers, wading endlessly through filth while they're hunted by gruesome rodents. Perhaps the abjectness of their misery is in some way more morally just than if they never had to be burdened with existence at all. We cannot say for sure. We are but a video game company and shall not pretend to understand the mysteries of cosmic order. Destroy this letter and never contact us again. Humbly, the Nintendo Corporation.
You hear that? These Waluigi. Plural.
This is a really harsh letter.
Whatever. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in God?
Well, it's a complicated question. I mean, I'm definitely spiritual, but...
I believe in God. And sometimes I think He created me as a joke. Some days it's hard not to feel like God looks down on me with indifference, or maybe a kind of amused contempt. But what can I do? I'm alive now, so might as well try to enjoy it.
Hey, do you have a bathroom I could use?
Yeah. Upstairs. Second door to the right.
But when I stand up to excuse myself, something terrible happens. Oh, whoops. Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind!
No!
In video games designed for children, death is relieved of its horror and garishness, presented instead with lightness and slapstick comedy. People are flattened, or spectacularly booted off the sides of cliffs, or they simply vanish into the ether, emitting coins or some other useful item. Unfortunately, this is real life. And when I stand up from my fall, I see below me 15 mangled Waluigi, bodies bent and broken by the weight of my impact. The rest of the Waluigi have fled to various hidden corners of the room.
Oh no, oh no, fuck, oh fuck, fuck, oh fuck, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Well, evidently I tripped and fell. When's the last time you tidied up in here?
Oh, you're telling me to tidy up? You're telling me to tidy up? You just killed 15 people.
Accidentally. I accidentally squashed 15 Waluigi.
Don't say squashed. This isn't a fucking cartoon. Just go to the damn bathroom.
I feel guilty about squashing the Waluigi, and was glad to excuse myself while Sal deals with the fallout from my accident. It makes me sad to think of how the other Waluigi will react. Having lived most of their lives in solitude and darkness, this is the first time they will have to contend with the passing of a loved one. In the bathroom, I think about life and death. I think about loneliness and community. I think about chaos and meaning. When I return down to the basement, Sal instructs me to be quiet. I look over to the Waluigi. The dead have been straightened out from their various contortions and are lying end to end, arranged in an upside-down L shape, the same symbol visible on Waluigi's hat. Around them stand the living in a circle. They are all holding hands. The room is spellbound with a holy silence. I stand tensely, anticipating something, but not knowing what. After a few more moments, which feel like an eternity, and went over like nothing at all, not unlike life, after a few more moments, it begins. I look over to Sal in wonder. He is standing reverently with his hands behind his back, and he is weeping uncontrollably. This sound is the only sound in the world. It permeates everything in the room. It penetrates every cell in my body. I begin to think of everyone I have ever loved, everything I have ever lost, all that I will ever experience, all that will be taken from me when I die, what my life will ever amount to, what mark I will leave, whether my life means anything, whether it matters, how lucky I am to be alive at all, how lucky you are to be listening to my podcast. The dearly departed are gone. Their bodies have disappeared completely. All they leave behind are their dark purple shirts and hats and their black overalls, lying end to end in an upside-down L shape. A physical memory. After a few more moments of gazing at the shrine, the Waluigi left behind walk away, and soon resume playing.
Waluigi, 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 Waluigi,